What's going on, guys? This is Trust Max here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you guys a few ghost videos that I just want to just share to you guys and just kind of explain them out if I can, because they seem pretty cool and they interest me a lot. And also I'm kind of sparked this video. I was watching a Optic podcast. It's a professional team, a professional Call of Duty team, Optic. And I was watching them today. They do a podcast, and Optic Nate Shot. He's not in Optic anymore, but he's my favorite Call of Duty player, and he's one of my favorite YouTubers. He went to the house, and he was just sitting with his old team and talking, and they're talking about ghost stories. And I was going to explain to you guys a few of mine that happened, and both happened in the last year. So I'm going to try to explain to you guys what happened. I'm going to tell you guys what happened, and then I'm going to try to explain it, because I'm pretty sure I can explain it by the stuff in my room that I can use, because one of them had to do with a bed and a blanket, and the other one had to do with a pig pen, which is downstairs. But I just came upstairs, so I'm just going to pretend there's a pen. I'm sure you guys what happened. Alright, anyway, so this happened about, I think, probably almost 2 years ago. Me and my old friend Trenton, me and him were playing Minecraft one day. He came, he used to always sit out with me like all the time, and me and him were playing Minecraft on this was at my old house in Dayton. Me and him were playing Minecraft, and me and him were sitting. I'm gonna show you guys. Okay, look, right here is my bed, and where I'm pointing, so there's two chairs in my old room, there's two in front of my bed, and then in front of my bed was a flat screen. Obviously not this one, it was a 40-inch flat screen. So pretty much me and him were both sitting, so right here in front of me, so right here and right here. I was sitting right here, he was sitting right here, and my bed is where it was at the old house. Now we were sitting there playing Minecraft. It's probably like 1 or 2 in the morning. We're playing Minecraft, and we had our phones resting on the bed. Actually, his charging on the bed over here to the side, and mine was, I think it was in my lap, or it was in front of me on the table at my, obviously not this table, but you know what I'm saying. Well, what happened was, I had a blanket. It was just a lighter color brown. It was kind of more of a greenish brown. It was like it was blanketed like this. So keep in mind that me and Trenton are still sitting in front of my bed on and the chairs, and me and him, we're probably a good from here to about like right from here about right here away from the bed, and like, I was slightly turned, and he was slightly turned, because we were both staring at the TV. And at the corner of my eye, and he saw it too at the same time, the blanket did this. Like, I promise you, I'm not lying about this. The blanket literally did this. It raised up, and then it dropped. And, like, I looked at it, and then I looked back to the TV, and then I waited for a minute, and then I looked at Trenton, and he was staring at me, and he said, "You saw it, right?" And I was like, yeah, but I was kind of weirded out, and I was kind of speechless. I didn't really know what to say. And he said, check the bed, make sure there's not like something under the blanket or something, or like and well, I was like, all right. So I went and I lifted up the blanket and whatnot, and obviously there was nothing under there. And I was like, maybe your phone went off. Well, we turned to see where his phone was. His phone wasn't near the blanket. His phone was right over here, and the blanket was over here in the middle of the bed. His phone was on the left side of the bed. So my phone was in front of me. Yeah, so my phone was in front of me. So there was nothing on the bed. We didn't feel any vibrations or anything. We didn't see anything. We didn't hear anything. All we saw was the blanket rise and fall. And that was it for that story. That was about a year and a half ago. And then the other one happened somewhat recently. This was probably November. Yeah, probably October or November. I don't know if you guys seen it, but in my old room, I'm gonna try to bring you guys back into like my old room at my old house. So pretend over here where my closet is where Calvin's pen's at. Calvin's pen was in the corner of my old room, so I mean Calvin's pen will be over here. Here's my back door, and that means behind me to my left is my TV and my bed. I'm actually behind, yeah, to the right of me. So here's Calvin's pen. Here's a door. Right here would be where my bed's at, and then over here would be the door that leads into my brother's room, my old room, our old room and stuff and all that. But this was October and November. Because I remember there was a heater. Calvin always sat in front of the heater, or he laid in front of the heater in my room, because my room was literally, it was added onto my house. So it didn't really have a whole lot of insulation or anything, and it was really cold. Whatever the temperature was outside, it felt like that in my room, just about 5 times worse. So when it was hot, it was really hot. When it was cold, your nipples were constantly hard. Yeah. Well, so Calvin went into his pen and he used his box. I don't know how old he was at the time, but he went and used his box, and he walked out, and he walked over to his water bowl. So right here is where his pen would be at, right here. And behind this would be where my door is, and his food and water bowl were in front of the door. So he went over and got some water, and he came back, and in front of and to the left of his pen, the heater right here is where the carpet started, and his pen and the door was like right here is all tile, and where his food and water bowl were at. About right here was where the carpet started, and I had the heater right there on the edge of the carpet. So at night I would turn it towards him, and then he eventually started sleeping with me. So I always had to turn towards us, but he sat and laid in front of the heater, and then once again he got up and he went back to his food and water bowl, because it was about time for him to eat. Well, I only gave him a little tiny snack because I didn't want to take him out because it was raining. It was raining. It was raining pretty bad that day. I do remember that. It was raining. It was kind of freezing rain a little bit, but and I'm sitting there playing my game, sitting in my chair, and as I look over, Calvin's he just laid down in front of the heater, and I was like, "What are you doing, Piggy?" Because I always talk to him like you always talk to your pets. I was like, "What are you doing, Piggy?" And I look over. Okay, and we're gonna use this picture of Calvin to pretend that this is the door to his pen. I look over and his pen door's open. It was already open whenever I looked at it, and then I saw it do this. It just shut, and I was like, Calvin's laying in front of the heater. I was like, that's really weird. So I instantly grabbed my phone to see if I can get a video of it happening again. I got up and I opened it back up and I sat down. And I made a video of it, and I took a picture also. And I sent it instantly to my girlfriend. And I was like, babe, his door just shut by itself. And I'm trying to see if I can get another video of it or a picture of it doing it again. Hopefully it doesn't happen because I'm a little freaked out about it. And basically, nothing else happened that day, or I never witnessed that happening again. That was probably the last time that I had like a weird experience at all. At this new house, there's not really anything that went on at this new house except for I do know this was last week. I was playing PS4 in the basement. I don't know if you guys have seen the basement. You may have. I'll probably have to do a tour of the gaming setup and all that, and mine in Calvin's area. I mean, technically it is Calvin's area, but this was last week. I was sitting in front of my my TV, playing my game, probably about 2 in the morning, playing the game. Calvin's over sleeping on the futon, and my remote, I hardly use it. I only use it whenever I'm laying down on the futon with Calvin, or with my girlfriend and Calvin, or whenever I'm far away and I forget to turn off the TV. Like, I'll go grab it and turn it off. But I always have it sitting in front of me, and I can show you guys tomorrow, because I hardly touch it. Like, there's dust on it and stuff. Like, I hardly touch it at all. It's laying next to my combat knife. So okay, but pretend it's my TV. Here's my table. Here is the combat knife, remote, and then on top of that is still a bag of barbecue chips. I was playing a game about 2 in the morning, and all of a sudden my volume starts going down. I'm like, okay, because you know how it pops up on the TV. Like, here, let me try to show you guys. Like this, you see how like it comes up on the TV and all that. Well, my volume started going down, and I'm like, okay, I'm not touching the button, nor am I touching the remote. So what the hell? Well, that morning, I went to bed. I woke up, and that morning, Lauren came over, my girlfriend, and we were in my living room, and well, the dining room, I guess you can say, and my mom was talking we were in a weird conversation. I don't know what we were talking about, but my mom was like, oh yeah, I've been kept up all night. Well, I woke up to a weird noise, and I thought it was Tape playing something stupid, like, during the night, because I know he's always up playing his game, or he's just watching some weird videos and stuff. So I thought he was playing some weird game, or he's playing some weird video or something. Well, it figures out that what she was hearing was, you guys know there's potty chairs you get for babies and stuff when you're trying to potty train them, like whenever they pee, or like whenever it senses it, like it senses something. Everybody, yay, good job, and like it'll clap or it'll cheer or something and all that, or it'll start like singing. Well, that started going off in the middle of the night. This was probably around the time, close to the time. It was very close to the time that my TV started turning down. The volume started turning down on my TV. And my mom, she got up in the middle of the night, and she figured out that it was actually the thing going off, and she claimed that the batteries were dead, which I don't think they are. I don't think they are at all. But that's just really weird that happened in the same night, and probably in a matter of 2 hours apart. Probably honestly not even 2 hours apart, because she told me around the relative time, and I was about the relative time that I was getting ready to go to bed. So I was still up, and right before I went to bed is when my volume turned down. Not very sure. That's probably the 4 ghost stories that I have. I mean, ghost stories, I mean, kind of paranormal or weird stories, if you will. Trying to think of anything else that I would have. Any other ghost stories. Honestly, I don't know. I do know there's a few weird stories I had in the woods behind my house, at Dayton Avenue in Dayton. I don't know if there's any videos yet. There's a video. My very first video on this YouTube channel was falling out of a tree, and my friend Benny, my best friend since childhood, we were in diapers together. We were playing. I was a big Nerf person. I know a lot of people know that. I just got a message from Steven, that's why I looked at my screen all weird. A lot of people know that I was a big Nerf person. Like, all my friends played Nerf with me and stuff. Well, we had this Nerf axe. You guys know those big Nerf axes that you can buy, used to buy. They're hard to find now. I'm pretty sure they stopped making them. But there was a Nerf axe that I had, and the handle was all messed up. I don't know where I got it from. I got it used, and I cut the entire handle off, and I just used the very top of the axe, like, you know how it has like little pointed points, and it goes up like this. Well, I used that, and we were throwing it. I'm pretty sure it's still in the woods in Dayton. Haven't used it in a long time, about a year or so. since the beginning of my senior year, which I'm graduated now. But what was I getting at here? Yeah. Well, Benny was using that in a tree, and he fell out of a tree while he was trying to throw it at me, and that was my first video ever. I think it has the most views on any video on my channel so far. First video I made. I showed it to my 8th grade reading / language arts class, and everybody died laughing like it was awesome. Well, anyway, there's a few weird things that happen in the woods. I do know there's one thing that there's always, whenever I was a kid, my brother Evan and our next neighbor Jordan, he still lives right next to our old house in Dayton. We used to always play airsoft. We used to always go explore the woods. I'm always an exploring person. My dad always, he actually was in the same woods. He explored the same woods as a kid. My brother explored them. I always wanted to follow him, so I went in there, started exploring. And then probably by like the age of 8 or 9, I was going to the woods by myself. Like, I enjoyed doing it. I always found peace in nature and all that. Well, so did my friend, my best friend till this day, Steven. Me and him have been best friends since kindergarten, and now we're graduated, and that's a long time. Well, me and him, we're always big nature freaks. We always like to climb trees. Same with Benny, but Benny wasn't there. Benny wasn't there that day. Me and Steven, we were watching a movie in my house, and we decided we wanted to go on an adventure. Basically just to walk through the woods and get to parts that we haven't been in yet. Well, we decided we wanted to pack a bag. Like, we packed like these homemade, like, we tried to sharpen some sticks. We got a gallon of apple juice and some crackers and stuff, and we stuffed it all in a little strap-on bag. I don't know what you call those things. But we both carried one, and we both had some hiking sticks, and we decided to head out into the woods. Well, we've gone past like any part where we build a little fort or anything. We're going deep into the woods. Well, there's always been like this big conspiracy, or my brother and Evan, like, they always had a big crazy thing that they used to see this weird animal or this thing or this creature, they called it, in the woods. It was kind of like a bear or like a big dog or a big house cat or something. Never really figured out what it was. But this, no lie, this is what happened. Me and Steven were going deep into the woods. We were down by the creek, which I still went to up until we moved out of Dayton in December. It was always peaceful to just walk through the woods. But we were going down past the creek. This is deep. And keep in mind, me and him were probably 10 or 11 at the time. We're just going through the woods, and all of a sudden we see this thing. Literally, no lie, it looked like a mountain lion. All I saw was like half of its body and the back. It had a long tail with a black on the end, and it had paws. So it was some sort of cat. It wasn't a dog. It was some sort of cat, and it was big. It was long. It was probably the size of me, and I'm exactly 6 foot, but long ways. This thing, literally, I heard it, and it heard us, and it turned toward us. But me and Steven were on a slanted hill, and there's kind of trees and like some bushes overgrown, so we couldn't see the other part of the body. And once we saw the thing turn towards us and started walking towards us, we instantly, literally, I threw the apple juice bottle down, we threw our sticks down, and we darted home. We sprinted home, went inside. We literally like in a movie. So we turn around, lock the door, and my dad's like, "What happened? What happened?" And we're like, "We just saw a weird creature in the woods. We're never going back in there." He's like, "Oh, you guys are making it up and stuff and all that." Well, I still remember to this day because it was pretty traumatizing. It was pretty scary. But never really saw anything else like that ever again. There was one more thing I want to talk about that I saw in the woods. This was before that happened. This was a year or so after that thing that happened with me and Steven, what I just told you guys about. Here's just a funny thing to go along with a story I just told you guys. This was probably 3 years ago. I was walking through the woods. I think it was me and Benny. And my friend Baby John. Well, we was calling him John now, but back then he was Baby John because he's short. We've always called him that. Well, we were walking through the woods, and we found my apple juice bottle because I remember the exact spot, the relative area of when me and Steven saw that thing. We found the apple juice bottle, and it was still there, right on the hill where I threw it down, like 3 or 4 years ago. Like that's honestly pretty cool. But here's one more thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. This happened probably my 7th or 8th grade year, so I was probably 12 or 13, I think, at the time. I'm not sure. Yeah, probably 12 and 13, around there. It started out like this whenever like the creature thing in the woods started to fade away. Like I didn't really mind anymore. I was always in the woods now. I didn't see or hear anything else, or my brother or nobody really went to the woods anymore besides any of my friends. And even my friends, like they weren't seeing anything. Like we're all putting it behind us. Well, my friend Noah Patton, he came up one day just to come and chill. We used to always hang out every single day. And he was a very adventurous kid too. We always like to do crazy stuff and make up stuff and this, just try to have fun. I mean, you're a child. Well, we decided one day that we wanted to just go hang out in the woods. And before, like, I'm pretty sure I'm in a video of my house and whatnot, my old house. But I don't know if you guys saw, but in the video of Benny falling out of a tree, you saw that little road that separated. There was my house, the little back road that leads up to the mansion, and then the woods where we were at. Well, that back road, we were sitting on the back road, that little back gravel way, the gravel driveway that led to the mansion, and we just got walkie-talkies. I don't know if Noah brung them or I already had them. I'm pretty sure Noah brung them, but we were playing with these walkie-talkies, and he's like, how would you go up there to your little fort? I had a little fort area up there, right on the edge of the woods where I could hear my mom and dad yell from my house, like that close. Like I had to be that close. And it went there in fall. You could literally see my entire fort because all the leaves would fall. You could easily see it. Well, he said, how about you go up there, and we were playing some sort of game. We were making up some sort of story or something. And he was down at the edge of the driveway, by the street, on my street. And I was like, all right, so I will run up there. Well, I ran up there, and whenever I got to my fort, I was hearing things that were, my fort was right on top of a hill, surrounded by trees and stuff, and it was sliding down, and sliding down to the parts that we never really went to as a kid. But I started hearing stuff in the woods, so I go over there. Well, I go to my fort, and I'll go over on the hill because I hear stuff, and I see these things. There's like 3 or 4 of them, and they're all black, and they're on all 4s, and they were eating. But it had like a pig nose, but it wasn't a pig. Like, I can't really describe it. It was really weird. Like, it was really faint too. I remember it had like a really weird shaped nose, and there was 4 of them. I only saw one of them, and I saw its nose, and I literally ran for my life. I ran out of the woods. Like, I had a shortcut. I ran back through the middle of 2 houses, down the bottom of my street where the city steps were, and I ran to Noah and said, I was like, you know what, I'm done. I was like, I'm done playing this game. I'm not playing games right now. I saw something weird in the woods. I'm done. Not going in there. Well, he persuaded me to get back in there. We get back in there, and they're nowhere to be found. Like, it was a really weird experience. Never really told any of these stories except for people that know the stories because they were there. Like, they experienced it with me and all that. But there's some weird stuff that happened. And this all happened at my old house besides the thing with the remote and the potty training C going off. Well, yeah, guys, that's about it for this video. This is weird. I really want to sit down and have a talk with you guys one-on-one. But this is the video. What is this? Probably like 6 ghost stories for you guys, paranormal stories. I try to figure out what I'm going to name this video. Probably just weird stories or ghost stories. I'll probably just name it some weird, ghostly or weird paranormal stories, more than likely. But I'm gonna see what Steven said in this video. He sent me a text. I want to see what he said. He just sent it to me. So I'm gonna read that, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, this little vlog I did. It's past 3 in the morning, so I'm gonna go to bed. See you guys in the next video.